good news is we've got a better vision for our country.
The blizzard of daily polls is at or close to where it's always been.
The president's told us he'd take on some of these things, but hasn't.
Lawmakers from both parties debating the Obama administration's handling of the Libya attack.
We weren't told they wanted more security.
The unemployment rate, it turns out, fell last month.
I want to export more products and outsource fewer jobs.
The High Court upheld the president's health care law.
This is something that as Americans we should support.
Hello, I'm Sherry Margolis. We're living in such a fast-paced world. We're constantly moving, constantly on the go. Sometimes it's good to slow down and look at the big picture so we can see things more clearly. Consider some numbers. 4,400. That's the number of troops that we know of killed in Operation Iraqi Freedom. 2,100. That's the number killed so far in Operation Enduring Freedom. Our state of Michigan has sacrificed more than 200 lives in those conflicts since 2003. Among those paying the ultimate price, Sergeant Kyle McLean of Rochester Hills.
Even though I've lost a son and no one can ever replace him, I'm not saddened by what he did. I'm proud of what he did and how he died.
Geraldine McLean is a very proud mother. Her 25-year-old son, U.S. Army Sergeant Kyle McLean, was killed by an IED in Afghanistan during a routine clearance mission. His commanders call him a great soldier and a natural leader who knew the risks and gave his best.
I know my son did not suffer, and I know instantly he was relieved of his duty.
The McLeans adopted Kyle as a baby from Korea. He was a happy child. He loved his parents and his sister, and he had a million friends. He also loved music and played in the drum line at Rochester High School. After 2 years at Ferris State, Kyle joined the Army. Coincidentally, his first deployment was to South Korea, where he was born.
And Kyle was very proud to be an American, and he was very proud to live in this country. And he truly wanted to serve this country that he came to.
His next deployment was to Iraq, where he was a combat engineer, making sure roads were safe from explosive devices. When he came back, he married the love of his life, Lisa, and joined the National Guard, hoping to stay closer to home. But in May, he shipped out again, this time to Afghanistan.
Don't worry about me. Those were his last words on May 4th in Battle Creek. I'll be fine, don't worry about me. Smiling, I have actually a picture of him leaving on the bus. Very calm and at ease, maybe nervous in the inside, but a very confident soldier on the outside.
These days, Geraldine finds comfort in her memories of Kyle and in playing the music that she loves so much. She's also written a poem expressing a mother's love and a mother's pride.
He was our son, destined to be a hero, died for what he believed to be true. Freedom for all, love of country, lover of life.
Veterans who return from war often come home to a different world, and sometimes it's too much for them to handle. One person knows very well that veterans deserve our respect, and they often need our help. As Jennifer Hammond shows us, this guy regularly steps up to the plate.
He's as intense a competitor as you'll ever find. But beyond the 98-mile-per-hour fastball he's been using to buckle opponents' knees since he arrived in the big leagues, Justin Verlander is committed to making a difference.
This is something that's personal to me, and I wanted to help out.
Together with the Detroit Tigers Foundation, the 2011 AL Cy Young winner and MVP has created Verlander's Victory for Veterans. It's an idea that came to him during pregame festivities at Comerica Park back in 2009.
The Tigers were doing a thing where every game they have a military personnel bring the game ball out to the mound, and so I'm sitting here in the dugout and just watching this every day, and standing up, giving a big ovation, and that just kind of, sparked my interest and made me think that, we could probably take this a little bit farther and do something really special for these men and women.
And special hardly begins to describe what Verlander has done. This marks the second straight season that the Tigers ace has hosted veterans in his private suite at Comerica Park for every home game he starts. This year, some 70 servicemen and women were part of Verlander's Victory for Veterans.
You know, I pick 4 or 5 families and they can bring a couple of people with them. It's just my way of saying thank you and how appreciative I am for everything they do for us.
During his September 19th outing against the A's, in which JV pitched 6 shutout innings, we paid a visit to his suite and found more than a half-dozen veterans and their families enjoying the game.
The transition coming back from Iraq was a little difficult because, I mean, you missed out on anniversaries, deaths, birthdays, you name it, you missed it.
As a member of the U.S. Army, 25-year-old Aaron Bigger served 15 months in Iraq and returned home in January. He says he appreciates everything Verlander is doing.
He's a mega star as a Detroit Tiger and, you know, an American citizen, and to donate his time and his suite for us when he could just easily say, no, I don't support that cause, or I don't support this, and give it to whoever he wants to give it to. So for him to give it to veterans, I mean, that's a great cause.
I was only in Iraq 3.5 weeks. Suicide car bomber attacked us. There were 5 of us in the vehicle. I'm the only survivor.
At just 29 years old, Drake suffered significant injuries that he said forced him to basically start over. But it's nights like these when people like Verlander reach out to him and other veterans that make all the difference in the world.
I'm grateful to him. I thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. I love the team, always have. And Verlander's an awesome guy.
As for that 4-letter word that's so often bestowed upon athletes who simply play a game, Verlander knows who the real heroes are.
Like you said, they're the real heroes, and you know, this is just my way to give back a little bit of what they've blessed me with the ability to do.
It makes me, it brings happiness and joy knowing that there is someone that big like Joseph Verlander that cares enough to give back to the veterans.
There are those people that go overseas and they don't come back. And I mean, those to me are the heroes, the ones that actually give their life for our freedom.
He's making a big difference for a lot of people. It's tough when a member of your family has to be far away. Even tougher when you don't know when they're coming home. But as Fox 2's Tara Nasher found out, a lot of people out there really want to help.
It was beautiful. It was a tree-lined street. It was gorgeous.
3 generations of her family lived at this South Warren house, Melanie Prepotnick says, before drugs, blight, and burglars invaded their neighborhood. When her husband, First Lieutenant Joseph Prepotnick, was away at training, Melanie and her 13-year-old daughter no longer felt safe.
I would sit on the couch when my husband was deployed for training sessions, and I'd have a shotgun.
It got so bad they decided to move out to the country and bought this house in White Lake. It was a foreclosure, so they knew they had some work to do, but an inspection never revealed some of the underlying problems. And before her husband could get to some of those big projects, he was deployed to Afghanistan.
I didn't know what we were going to do, I mean, at least we have a roof over our head, and it's hard to complain, but, you know, he had gotten us somewhere safe.
They could hardly afford to make ends meet, let alone major repairs on this White Lake house. The bathroom had been gutted. They needed a new roof, new doors, and the porch wasn't even safe to walk on. Home Depot in Farmington Hills found out what this military family was forced to live with and decided to help.
We put up a sign-up sheet asking who would be willing to help out, and we've had 25 people volunteer willing to give their time to come out here and help.
Employees working for a week not only to make this house livable again, but a place where this family only dreamed they could live. After knocking out the major projects, they installed new tile in the kitchen, a bathtub, they even put up a 20-foot flagpole.
It's kind of like a paradise. When you think of a paradise, you think of something that you dream of. This is basically my paradise. I actually dreamed of it. We actually have tile that I never would have thought would have been possible.
They've gone above and beyond, I mean, to just do everything for us that my husband would have done if he was here.
And when you meet Melanie and her daughter, how grateful they are for what we're doing and stuff, it makes it a good feeling. I mean, it's the least we can do for what he's doing for us over there.
And a half a world away, First Lieutenant Prepotnick wanted to show his gratitude.
My husband actually, He flew a flag for them on 9/11 for 9 minutes and 11 seconds over his base. And when things are cooled down a little bit over there, he's going to be able to send it out to them as a thank you.
Servicemen showing their appreciation for those who lost their lives and the people who continue to support the military and their families as they continue to fight for our freedom. This family couldn't be more proud of their soldier and their new home.
Sometimes it takes more than just a loving parent to keep a family going when you lose a service member. Here in Michigan, there is a team of warriors making it their mission to help children survive their incredible loss.
I had actually gone and picked up a care package for Stephen before I came home. And my understanding was that they had been waiting on me all morning.
They were members of the military who came to Lois and Stephen Stevens' West Bloomfield home to deliver the worst of news. Friday, June 22nd.
It's something that I can't change, and I'm proud. I'm proud that he's being recognized for a quick decision that he made.
The decision that her son, Lance Corporal Stephen Stevens, made while patrolling the Helmand province in Afghanistan. His platoon was ambushed, trying to clear a landing zone for rescue operations. He was attacked again. A mother and father left speechless by the news. Now, months later, there's still pain, but also pride.
I feel that he knew that he may not or would not survive, but he still made the decision. So I'm proud of that.
Stephen Sr. served in the military. The sacrifice his son made, ultimate, extraordinary. A story we all should know, and a message a proud father says we all need to hear.
If it wasn't for our soldiers, our son, other soldiers who have fallen, to govern and support the country like they have, it wouldn't be what it is, and we wouldn't be where we're at.
This moving tribute of tires, hundreds of them hitting the ground as part of this warrior ride, part of the first ever from the Fallen Warrior Foundation, the Willis Foundation, turning the wheels on this fundraiser that will benefit the children of fallen soldiers, including Cairo Stevens. He's only 6 months old now.
He's too young to really know what's going on or what's happening. I think as he gets older and we start telling him about his father, he'll kind of reminisce or wonder. But right now, he's just a happy baby.
There's a tradition in the Stevens family that each generation has to do better than the generation before. And so the pressure is on for that 6-month-old boy to do pretty well. And he has a scholarship to back him up.
I thought I would never finish paying out my student loans. So I can imagine what 18 years from now students are going to be saying.
The program helps families dealing with loss. Kids get a $20,000 scholarship. The money invested in the hopes it grows until they're ready for college. But there's a problem. Not enough families are actually asking for the help.
We have reserve funds that are waiting. We're begging to give away to those that qualify.
The Stevens family hopeful the scholarship serves not just as financial help, but as a bold reminder of Lance Corporal Stevens' valor, courage, and service.
He's going to know who his dad is, because we won't let him forget.
So if you know of a deserving family, a son or daughter of a fallen soldier that qualifies for this program, there's cash there waiting for you. Just go to our website, myfoxdetroit.com.
On October 23, 1983, 2 bombs went off, destroying 2 separate buildings housing U.S. and French forces in Beirut. 299 service members were killed. Marine Alan Opera rushed to the devastation to assist in the recovery. And now, nearly 3 decades later, he shares his unique story with Rich Luderman.
Marines have fought for our freedom since their inception in 1775. Names of faraway places like Okinawa and Iwo Jima and